case, a lot of it is learned because while I don't have Asperger's, I certainly was socially pretty incompetent for a lot of my life. I'm still not great at it. I'm much more comfortable doing it this way than any other way. So I've done 10 or something years of just slowly, iteratively doing this. I mean, I can tell you my guess. I mean, I think I'm a hyper-empathic person, right? I'm very connected sensate-wise to people, so I have feeling. You know, a lot of dysfunction produced it, but it was really like my, you know, my radioactive spider bit me, and I can now feel what you're feeling. So that's some of it. But I think a lot of people can do it. You have to practice, and the permission of the publicness of the way I'm doing it is a little bit different. And you know, performance is that part of what I'm hoping is the more we have open public social space, the more people feel seen and have more public connection, the faster it amplifies your comfort because mirroring, affirmation and mirroring isn't always like, you're awesome. It's like, I notice you're there and I totally ignore you, which is probably the most user experience design, a lot of what you guys are trying to get companies to do, right? Is not have stuff that kind of pretends you're not there, but we're going to give you a product. Because you get that emotional feeling of, yay, here I am, like I exist. So that just, from my experience, I mean, I've had performative situations, and there's lots of stuff on my site you can go into. I don't know how much in different interviews. Like, I've seen people change by having public acknowledgement, much faster than private acknowledgement. Not that private is bad. So I just think it amplifies stuff because there's more attention, and it makes shame go away faster. So that's just a little bit around how I've learned it. I mean, I had the goal of how can I make this happen, and I just kept trying. And I was doing a lot of internet stuff. You know, unlike most comics, I had a strong improv background. I was mostly about improv, and I didn't have anyone else to improv with on stage, but everybody was pretty funny and witty here. So it was easier for me to talk this way. A way it could be off the cuff, and it wasn't just a memorized script. I was more bored with script-oriented stuff. It's more of if-then kind of way of thinking, improv, that's to translate more computery. And so when I did that, just the results were pretty immediate. I mean, I have a lot of videotape that still has to go up, but I would do these shows at South by, no one would leave. You know, people would just sit there for hours, and then people feel closer and closer. You could feel in the room this kind of specialness of connection, and that's very addictive. I just wanted to keep having that and helping that happen. So some of it was theater, and some of it was the web, teaching me, iterate, do it publicly, make your mistake publicly. You know, someone else will fix it, maybe. You know, it's kind of an openness to being wrong, a lot of it. And an openness to being told I'm wrong, too. And I found that unified people pretty fast, too. So, I mean, I think some of it's learnable. We're just starting to try to share, like, here's the stuff I do. Other people are sharing, and the shows we do, whatever things they do. We might work with other people who already act this way. And then just think about the social goal. If you're creating a space, if any of you are working on Kaiser's site, if they want, like, patients who have cancer to support each other, really helpful to have someone help facilitate making that happen. And not facilitate like I'm going to pretend to be neutral and not here. Like, I have a real presence because when I open up and I go first and I'm vulnerable, it draws you out. Because you'll get a domino effect once you have openness in a public space, for sure. You know, I'm going to tell my intense personal story, then believe me, the next person's going to say, when I, you know, got my diagnosis, second week, and this happened to my kid, and then everyone's like, sitting in front of, you know, that's the stuff that just makes you need to be, that's why you're there. So that works in a room. That domino, we didn't have enough time to do too much of it here today. I mean, I could go there, but you'd see, like, if I started talking about my miscarriage 2 months ago, I went into detail in private, mostly people don't want to do in public, but as the space becomes more okay with that, and we're okay with that, because one other person does it, you'd see it move. I did a little analysis of a video that Derek Sivers also did a TED Talk about, and that's on our site. The guy dancing on the hill at the party, and then everybody at the concert, and more people come, and that happens every time. If someone is talk about vulnerable, you know, the first person dancing this video is just like can't really dance traditionally, kind of like really spastic, or traditionally called spastic and off the beat, completely, you know, hard to miss. There's no one near this guy. So it's very easy at the beginning to be like, oh, we're going to socially connect by mocking this person. You can almost feel like the other people going, I don't know, you know. But he stays with it, and this is why in theater, people who perform have some of this, right? Is commitment. When you commit, that's it. It changes everything. You stay with it. Also, I think people develop. I'm going to make a business. Everyone goes, you're crazy. That's not real. Come back to IBM, Jimmy Dean, or whatever happens. And then now I'm staying in my garage, which at the time was weird. Now we're like, garages, let's all have one. Because it's been done for 30 years. But so when you're this, whoever, the person going like this, and then eventually someone else goes, yeah, what the hell not? I feel like moving. Eventually, when there's enough, then it's much socially easier. But it's the vulnerability of that person and them staying with it and their publicness of it that allows other people to feel their feelings. I feel moved by the music. It's not just cool to not feel moved by the music. I feel protected because if I let myself have the feeling publicly, I'll be mocked. That is driving so much of our interaction and our over-intellectualization. And our long meetings and our process and all the rest of that crap. I have a feeling, but I can't tell you, because I don't think you'll acknowledge it, and I can't tolerate being hurt for it, because most of us have been before, and it's painful, and you can't handle it. And basically, it's very hard emotionally to tolerate wanting something you can't handle not getting. So it's not going to be somebody who can't handle it. You have to be able to tolerate not getting the good response. So yeah, people who stand up and whatever, we know we might die, we know it might suck, But also after you do it more, you become it more inoculant. It's kind of so that thing on the street. Eventually, if you guys didn't see the video, everybody's dancing like in this wild, and then they're very together, and there's a kind of joyousness to it because it's like it's spontaneous thing, and then it's spastic guy's like spastic guy, he's the guy, and then we're all loving him, we're all dancing around. I want to touch. Also, they touch, I'm going to acknowledge you, I'm going to touch you. We don't have ways online to touch each other, but we should have a physical equivalent. Like I don't know you. Sorry. What's your name? Regs. Do you mind if I demonstrate something with you? Is that okay? Okay, so like ever been at a party and they just they're like, hi, it's great to meet you. And the elbow is like, it's like official okay space. Like I might not be able to answer the rest of you at all, but I feel like does it feel okay? Is that too intimate? That's fine with you. I don't know if you pick up on regs.
I said that's fine with me.
Right, so we need like an elbow. Can someone make a digital elbow? Like, but functionally, my point about these things are not literal, but it's the why. Okay, if we're going to do this why, then why we can't do this yet? Hi, is that all right? Like, if I do this, you might listen. Like, you're talking to me more now than you were. I think.
I wasn't talking earlier, but yeah, now we're having a conversation.
If and you think you're maybe like tell me more because you have. Is this too much? How does it feel? Like seriously, be honest. You can tell me if it's creepy.
At a party, I think you're okay, but
I'm married. Don't have to worry about that. To a woman, I'm really unavailable. Although that often is like catnip, by the way. It's any women thinking, how am I going to meet a guy? Date a woman. And men will be on you. Like, she's not interested in me? Where's that? That's a joke, sorry. I was using that as a way to tell my joke. Sorry, I didn't mean to be good.
I didn't take it personally.
Okay. Relax. So if you want to talk to someone at a party, do you have a way that you do it, or is it hard to talk to someone you don't know?
Well, it depends on my intentions. So sometimes people introduce me to other people, and if I want to get to know somebody, I can just walk up and make conversation, find some kind of commonality, or find like, hey, what are you doing here, or how do you know this person?
Right. Okay. So information is the first thing. How do you know what's this about you? But then, aren't you kind of noticing if they kind of get excited about something they're talking about, or they don't like something, like, and you kind of try to respond to that?
Yeah, sure. I read their body language and facial expression.
Are you a designer of some kind?
Yeah.
Is there a way to make that happen on the internet? Please, I don't have an answer. I'm just being like, I think we need to figure out some of it. Not perfectly, but, and I think people, tumblers we're calling them, if you like another word, by the way, you don't like it, we're open. I mean, I'm not that attached. Not being too attached is kind of a helpful way to tumble, also another skill, because if I know, like, that we all mean different things when sometimes we say the same word, that the more I can remember that, the easier it's like, okay, I might have to keep drilling down and understand what you mean as I try to talk to you. Like, am I understanding you? I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm not sure. I'm kind of gauging. Did I really, right, just, interfere with something really, I don't know, it could be something intimate and really important, got interrupted when I talked to you.
Yeah, I was just checking the time and, think about what happens tomorrow.
Yeah. So I was totally failing. It's okay. I have to, feedback is useful. But you seem, so is this actually interesting now, or are you just feeling completely, utterly obligated?
A little of both.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, this is, Bacon has different speakers as part of the experience.
Sometimes they bring a complete quacking. I'll say it. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, I'm just now finally totally, somehow I've been so focused on your face, I missed this shirt. This shirt is something else. No, it's awesome. But I mean, I've been like, why did I even ask you if you were a designer when you're wearing this shirt? This is weird.